Brendan, you've been a long time Tea Party activist. Just give me a quick curriculum vitae so people know where you're coming from.
Sure. Well, it's great to be with you, Steve. Yeah, I started out as a grassroots activist, going back to kind of the Obama years and worried about federal spending and worried about, what Obamacare would look like. And so organized thousands of people across the country to push back on some of those big government policies. We were very critical of Republicans when we needed to be, very critical of Democrats as well. And I led the 9/12/2009 taxpayer march on Washington, where we had 500,000 people come to the Capitol to express their displeasure at Congress. And so I've been a longtime activist, and I've gotten very interested in AI over the years, and it's got a lot of aspects to it that are very concerning, as I know the War Room Posse shares those concerns.
Well, you've actually started a group to focus on this. As I said, when Brendan does something like this shows you walk me through from a grassroots activist and kind of MAGA working class supporting workers. And you hear all the polling. They want us to focus on now domestically and jobs, the cross currents of the visa scams, which CIS has done. Jessica Vaughn's done a brilliant study of. She's coming up in a minute. And artificial intelligence is the double whammy. It's the pincer move that's going to crush working people in this country. Tell me about your organization and what is your new. You're one of the leaders in this. What is your big concern?
Yeah, our organization is called the Alliance for Secure AI. And, the organization started because we started to get really concerned about what this would do, what AI would do in terms of jobs, in terms of the human experience, in terms of dignity and purpose. And, you have the leaders of these AI companies coming out themselves and saying that we could have mass unemployment. Some of these companies, their express purpose is to replace human beings, which I am just, diametrically opposed to. I think that's a terrible idea. I think it's immoral, unethical, and it needs to be prevented. AI should support human beings. It should not replace them. So we're very concerned on the economic side of things. And then look, I think the other key aspect here is that they can't even control AI right now with these capabilities that we have currently. So, what happens as this stuff gets more powerful, these capabilities increase and they're going much faster and they become much smarter. I'm very concerned that the companies can't control them now. What are they going to do when the capabilities advance in the future? They're not going to be able to control those models either. And that gets you into some really worrisome territory. So we've been fighting really hard to build public awareness about the implications of AI, to educate policymakers about this, to really shout from the rooftops and say, slow down, be thoughtful about this. Let's put some safeguards in place that put American workers first, that put America broadly first. And hey, by the way, let's not sell ourselves out to China by shipping them our technology and allowing the CCP to build on our technology and use it to not only control their own people, but to export authoritarianism around the country. So a lot of concerns with AI from kind of an economic standpoint, from a national security standpoint. And look, I go and speak to people all the time, especially at churches around the country. MAGA doesn't want this. Conservatives don't want this. Christian conservatives do not want this, and they have a lot of questions. And the politicians better pay attention, because if they don't, there's going to be a political price to pay.
No, it's going to be enormous. I want to go back to something you said that's very important. I don't want to bury the lead here. That even with no safeguards whatever, the frontier labs, they're at the forefront of kind of telling you, or leaking out every other week, they don't have total control about what they're doing. They're first to admit, whether it's hallucinations or all these types of things, they're getting surprised by this technology themselves all the time inside the frontier labs. Am I incorrect on that, sir?
You're exactly right. And some of them are coming out and saying it and talking about it. Some are saying it privately, and now we're getting these leaked memos and emails. Others are saying it publicly. And the other thing that everybody in the War Room Posse should be aware of is that some of these very people developing AI, they're saying they don't know how it works exactly. They can't control it. And they're building their own sort of systems. Some of them are buying land, buying ranches or farms, stocking up on medicine and food and water because they're worried about the worst case scenario. So if the people building this don't understand it, can't control it, and they're building essentially bunkers, then what does that tell you about maybe what we ought to think about and what we ought to do to prevent the most catastrophic scenarios?
Brendan Steinhauser, now that you're on watch, you're on the ramparts on this artificial intelligence. It's so good because MAGA needs more of a voice in this. Where do people go? You're warning to folks about artificial intelligence and jobs. And I'm telling you, if the visas and the AI keep wiping out jobs like they are of American workers, you're going to lose 40 seats in the House, okay? And then they're going to rain hell on us. So, Brendan, your closing thoughts and where do folks go?
Yeah, Steve, thanks again for having me. Our website is secureainow.org, secureainow.org. And you're exactly right. This is an orchestrated war on the American middle class. This is something that is on purpose. These companies, some of them are saying explicitly, we want to replace human beings. We want to replace your labor so that we can basically reap the benefits of that. They want to centralize power and wealth among them and put us all out of work. We're already seeing youth unemployment at 10% in this country. We see some of these people admitting openly that we could see massive unemployment, something like 10% to 20%. And, it's just something that people need to continue to pay attention to, be involved, stay aware, be vigilant, and keep up the good fight. We've got to push back and we've got to win this effort.
Go over to Brendan's site today. Brendan, I'll talk to you afterwards and we'll work out to get you back on here as soon as possible. But everybody go and check his site out today. Sign up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.